Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining me in the video today. This is a Leblanc Model 342 contrabass clarinet, sometimes called the straight model of contrabass clarinet in comparison to the paperclip Leblanc Model 340. Now, this instrument was marketed as a professional level instrument. It plays well, it's very well built, and it'll probably last a very long time if you take care of it. But unfortunately, this instrument does have one small flaw. You see, if you play a lot of contrabass clarinet music, especially a lot of contemporary stuff, you'll notice that you need to use the extended register that is low E flat through low C a lot of the time. Now, this is a problem for this instrument because these contras only came with a range down to low E flat. So what do? Well, I'd like to show you my latest invention, a fully removable low C extension for the Leblanc 342 contrabass clarinet. Now, this isn't the first time that anybody has extended a Model 342, nor is it even the first time somebody has made a fully 3D printed extension. However, this extension is special because not only is it very simple and very easy to use, but it's also very easy to install and uninstall without making any permanent modifications to the instrument. In the video today, I'd like to talk more about this extension, how it works, and show you how it can improve this otherwise good instrument and turn it into a great instrument. Now, to give you an idea of what this extension sounds like in comparison to the rest of the instrument, I'm going to play a chromatic scale. So just how easy is it to install this extension? Well, first, let's start with the instrument in its standard low E flat configuration. You're just going to remove the floor peg and the bell and place them to the side. Then you're going to take the extension and note that there's a little channel on the thumb assembly, so that's going to slide between the thumb rest and the lower joint. So I'm just going to slide that in place. And then I'm going to make sure that the extension connects to the tenon on the lower joint of the instrument. Then I'm just going to carefully push that on until it seats. Now I'm going to take the floor peg and I'm going to adjust the extension so the floor peg slides smoothly into the instrument. And because you see the floor peg is actually part of the alignment mechanism of this extension to ensure that the keys are adjusted properly. So once that's adjusted, we're just going to insert the floor peg, tighten up the floor peg nut, and then we're just going to tighten up this little nut on the extension to ensure it's locked in place. We're just going to ensure that the keys close properly, and the extension's ready to go. Now, to remove the extension, you simply do the reverse. You loosen that nut, remove the floor peg, and then you simply pop the extension off carefully, and carefully set it to the side, and put on the factory bell. And now it's back in the standard low E flat configuration. So now let's take a closer look at how this extension works. So like most extensions, the idea is pretty simple. You're just trying to make the instrument effectively longer in order to produce a lower note. So to do this, you can see I've made this new ascending section that connects to the bottom of the lower joint of the instrument. So there's a bow down there and then the tube comes back up to make the instrument longer. So you can see there's 3 keys on it. They're just very simple pivot keys. You have low D controlled by this first thumb key here, then C sharp, and then finally C. So it's just a simple linear pattern for the thumb keys. And the idea with that is I just wanted to keep it nice and simple, not try to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Now, for the pads themselves, I used Musicmatic Neo pads, which I found to be very practical for 3D printed instruments because you don't need any kind of heat to install them. And the rods are made of carbon fiber for rigidity and durability. You can see I've also added some adjustment screws there so that you can easily adjust the mechanism should it ever come out of adjustment. The idea is I want this extension to last for a long time and I want it to be reliable. So overall, the design is very simple, although I will say it took quite a few months to get all the dimensions right. As you can see, there are a lot of individual parts on this extension. Now, while I am really proud of this extension, there are a few things I wish I could have done better. The biggest one being the arrangement of the thumb keys. By having 3 linear thumb keys like the early Selmer Model 33 bass clarinet, it means it's very hard to play a diatonic scale and go from a D to a C. I'll demonstrate that now. You can see when I go up, there's not as much of a problem, but when I go down, you have to slide your thumb over the C sharp key, which means there's a little bit of a break in the note. It can be worked on through technique, but ideally in future versions, I want to see if I can design a better arrangement of the thumb keys. The main reason I had the thumb keys like this on this version is because I wanted them to be as thick and rigid as possible to ensure durability. So in conclusion, I'm very proud of this extension. While there is still a lot more work to do, I feel that this proves that this concept is viable, and it means that these instruments, which were previously looking like they were going to become obsolete, may now have a second chance at being useful instruments, which is very good because it's very hard to find affordable contrabass clarinets, especially for school programs that may already own an instrument such as this, but can't afford to spend $30,000 on a new low C contra. So I hope I can further refine this design and make it a viable product in the future. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.